Hey there everybody, Eric from Outer Limitless coming at you today with another video. Now here in my hands, this is the Work Tough Gear Woodscraft Tanto, which is a design that I have been working on, have it here in prototype, and have been doing a ton of testing. So if you're interested in seeing this in some good hard field use, do me a favor, take a look back at a couple of my prior videos for the details. But to summarize this in some of the important details, I have absolutely put these prototypes through some serious field use, serious and almost abuse, and these have performed extremely well. Not just what you've seen on video, but I also had other opportunities to get these out into some deep wilderness, hard use, and really rely and survive with these blades. Absolutely performed. And here, interestingly enough, in OS 8. Now, when we first set out to produce this, we didn't think it would be in OS 8, but at this point, because of the overall performance, I am extremely happy. So I think moving forward, we are going to use OS 8, but the question remains, how tough is this? And well, that's where things get a little bit nutty. I was on a family vacation, long road trip, happened to be in the neck of the woods of Jacob Peterson of the Prepper's Bunker Outdoors. We were there talking about knives, we were there talking about guns, and we said, well, what if we mix knives and guns? So what we're doing in this particular video is a very hard use and extremely abusive test. We are going to put the prototype of the Woodscraft Tanto on edge and shoot it with a couple of guns. So first off, we're going to do a 9mm test, and if it survives there, well, we're going 50 cal, baby. And I'm curious to see exactly what happens. But with that said, I have a whole bunch to do and a whole bunch to share with you. And if you're interested in seeing a little bit more about what we're about to get into, do me a favor, stay tuned. All right, so here with Jacob from the Prepper's Bunker Outdoors, we have a cool little, I don't know, call it a project. I don't know what you call it, experiment? What is this? Let's just say an experiment.
Yeah.
So here I have my prototype of the Work Tough Gear Woodscraft Tanto. Now, this is going to be interesting because the prototype, we actually made it in OS 8. Now, I think people who are watching, or potential even buyers of this in the future, we're going to go to production, and we've been kicking around what steel do we work with. Well, I was so impressed at the actual performance of this OS 8, we decided to continue to roll with this into production. And I think people watching, seeing the videos, and potentially customers may still wonder, well, OS 8, I'm not so sure. It's just OS 8.
Right.
I can tell you, this is not just OS 8. This is Work Tough OS 8. It's sometimes steels are funny, man. And I'm curious about your thought on this. But some people look at steel that's like budget or cheap, or sometimes even they'll say, well, that's Chinese, and they cast it off. But sometimes there's a lot of really great properties that you get out of something, and we're here to kind of test it out.
Yeah, a lot of budget steels get a bad reputation from a budget heat treat.
Right.
But a basic steel that is well heat treated will always perform better than a premium steel where the heat treat's messed up. I think that budget stainless steels in particular have gotten a bad rap, and I think that they are so tough and stainless that they are actually much more practical than most people would realize, and so much attention is being put on edge retention, which is good, but if you have to choose on a woods blade between edge retention and toughness, I'm going to pick toughness, especially if I carry a strop on me.
Right.
I can strop a knife back to sharp in 10 seconds. Why would I want to sacrifice any amount of toughness for edge retention?
I'm glad you said that. And now that we are getting a little bit deeper into the conversation, Work Tuff, and it's even right in the name, has really been putting out super tough knives. Now, do they have really good edge retention? Yes, but they are, amongst all other things, really tough. And their fans and followers and customers have really been enjoying and I'm calling it the sport of hard using a knife. You have, chopping, that's its own sort of sport. But these Work Tuff guys are really turning hard using a knife into a sport of its own. And well, I think we're going to do about as hard toughness test and hard use test as we can possibly get into today. Why are you wearing those earmuffs? I don't understand why you're standing. Why do I have earmuffs and safety glasses on?
Well, we're gonna do a little practice. We're gonna cut through some lead today.
Yep.
But we're not gonna have the knife do the moving. We're gonna have the bullet do the moving.
Oh, so we're going to do a little bit of shooting. We happen to be here in your backyard range. Actually, I've come about 1,000 miles for this test. So, talk about dedication to the testing. Well,
yeah.
Here we are. We get this opportunity. This is going to be absolutely fantastic. So the goal today, we're going to try to split some bullets. Now, I'm going to take a couple of cracks at this myself. I'm not the best shot. I don't know how I'm going to do. Jacob, I'm hoping that at least between us, one of us is going to be able to really make this happen. And, if not, we're just going to have your dog chewing on the knife or something.
Yeah, or the bullets.
Or the bullets, I don't know.
One or the other.
But with that said, there's only one way to find out, and that's to get into this. What do you say?
Absolutely.
Nice. So the first thing we did was we got my prototype Woodscraft Tanto here affixed to this board. Now in the background, you'll notice just some white paper. That's just going to help to really, I guess, see and identify what's going on here with each and every shot. We also have a target over here, so we're going to get some practice in, try to get a little bit of a cluster, see how we're shooting, and that should help us hone in on this edge. Now, the lighting here is going to be a little bit tough. We'll do our best to try to get this dialed in, but we do have some slow-mo footage we're going to roll in, and hopefully, one of us will hit this target. So what we originally wanted to do was step up from 22 to 9mm. At this point, we are going to forego the 22. It's going to take a little more setup than we want to get into, so we're going to go straight into 9mm. Then from there, depending on the results, well, we have a 50 caliber Desert Eagle here. So it'll be interesting to see exactly what happens. So we're going to start with a little bit of 9mm here, hit the range, and see how the grouping works out before we actually shoot at the knife. So Jacob, let's see how you do.
Oh my. That's not good at all.
Is it going to be good enough to hit the keen edge of a blade?
Not without some adjustment.
So, of course, Jacob nailed the shot the very first time, but the cameraman missed the shot the very first time, and one for one on the keen edge hit. And you can see there, absolutely splitting the bullet. So here you can see 2 halves, and the edge is obviously damaged, but I mean the knife is still perfectly intact. So let's see if we can get this on film again, and I will try to get the slow-mo going, because that would have been freaking fantastic.
was. Wow. Wow. Oh, that's it, I think.
Did you get it? Yep.
I glanced it, so I hit the edge, but the whole thing went to the left.
Good hit though. Nice. Well, so far it's only got a little bit of a chip and a couple of rolls, to be honest with you. It's not even what I would consider to be like major edge damage, considering what it's being hit by.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Look at it down the edge here. That's hot. Nope. Whew. Well, that's...
Oh, you can see it clearly hit it. We got that one. Bing. The bottom one. Watch. Bing.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Bing.
Nice.
Douche. Sick. All right. Success. So let's keep going.
Yeah. Oh, tap and rack. Yep, there you go. There you go.
So what am I going, low?
I'm actually not even looking. I'm just looking at the camera. Sorry.
No, it's
Want me to
okay.
stop recording?
So no, that's fine. So I'm going for the 7, and I'm obviously low
The 7 on which target?
on the one in front of me.
Okay, yeah. So you're low. So have you ever had anybody teach you about sight picture?
I know about the sight picture, but
Okay.
I'm used to potentially different sights.
Yeah.
So what is my objective here with the orange?
So you want to see the full orange dot resting just in that notch.
Okay, that's what I'm doing wrong.
And cover the target that you want to hit with the
Full dot. All right. That's what I'm doing wrong. It's high. Better.
Nailed it.
Improved.
Improved.
All right, so success. I got one hit there. And again, no real, like, major significant edge damage. I mean, that right there is pretty much now a serration. But at the same time, this thing is held up to 3 solid shots with the 9mm. So, Jacob! What time is it, my friend?
Desert Eagle time.
Woo, baby! This is going to be an interesting test. So, let's get that slow-mo camera rolling and let's see how this goes.
Let's do it.
Holy shit. Oh, you shot it?
I don't know.
You did. I didn't think you were shooting the gun. I mean, the knife. I thought you were taking a shot at the practice.
Oh!
I thought you were going practice target.
Well, I was kind of, and then I was like, oh, crap.
Oh, I wasn't recording.
I thought you were recording. I was like, well, he's recording, so I shouldn't waste it.
No.
What an idiot. Oh my gosh.
I didn't, that sucks.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
It's all right. So we a little miscommunication with high firepower, but at this point, hold on. At this point, you can see we've lost a little bit of the blade. I wouldn't call that significant edge damage, though. I'd say it's more like a serration. So we're gonna do this again. Let's get the slow-mo going, and let's see if this thing gets finalized.
I think you're actually trying to develop a new mid-edge choil.
It's interesting. I've never seen it done, but we may be ahead of the curve on this one.
Might be.
All right, so going to attempt to finish off the knife here.
Finish him.
Little high. I think I missed. Let's check it out.
I think you hit right there.
Oh, man, that was so close. I mean, I was a little left. All right, man. See if you can do it. So close.
Bummer. Oh.
Close.
I need to clean the crap out of this old girl.
You got one more?
Yeah, I do.
All right. Oh, you got it.
Did I?
Definitely.
Oh.
Yep. That I'd say. Although I don't know. It's hard to tell. Where is the tip? It's like in my neck and I'm bleeding out and didn't know it yet.
Yeah, it's just like your arterial bleeding.
Yeah. So just getting a quick look at this now that we've basically blown the tip off while making some observations. The grain structure is so perfect. I mean, that is one benefit to this test. We are able to see the inner grain structure on that steel, and look at how smooth and tight and refined that grain structure is. So heat treat, absolutely perfect. I mean, we just severely punished the knife. Jacob,
Yeah.
did we learn anything?
We learned that Alsate can split a bullet if you get a good shot.
Well, all right. We've been talking about it just a little bit, trying to understand a couple of things. Now, obviously, at the end of the day, the knife did not stand up to the punishment. However, 9mm, let's just break it down. To me, very respectable results.
Yeah.
I would say.
Well, with the amount of energy that you have, you got to think a blacksmith can put his blade on a nail and baton through the nail with absolutely no edge damage. But if that nail is in wood and you hit it in anything other than a perfectly controlled way, you'll damage your edge. This is going to be the same way. More than likely, all of the damage done was due to shooter error.
It's interesting you say shooter error. And this is another thing we were talking about. It's one thing to be absolutely perfect right down that keen edge, but the minute you start to deflect or push your body one way or another, you are not coming straight down that edge. And we definitely had some shots that had us at a little bit of an angle, a couple of degrees, maybe not even, but that was enough to matter.
Yeah, and it doesn't take a lot. You got to think to perfectly transmit the energy into cutting while the bullet's spinning, you want to hit it dead center. So if you hit it, a 32nd of an inch off, now you have more pressure on one side than the other.
Yep.
I think any steel can break under less than perfect circumstances.
Yep.
I'm impressed the number of hits that the knife took, and
I mean, I think in 9mm it took at least 4. I mean, I know you had 2. One was significant right away, and I think I had 2. So I mean, 4 solid hits.
Yeah.
That's a big deal, and nothing detrimental to the ability to actually use the knife.
right.
But then the 50 cal.
You know, can only take so much.
Well, don't forget, and this is another thing we were talking about, we actually weakened certain parts of the steel with a 9mm.
Right.
So, and a little bit of miscommunication on the filming. That was my fault. Unfortunately, we missed the original blow. But the other thing, Jacob, you were set to the side, took a couple practice shots and decided you felt good enough to, go for a money shot. But at that point, and if we're talking about this the right way, I believe you were a few degrees off and potentially came in at a fairly steep angle, all things considered, and it was certainly not keen on that edge.
Right, right. And we still split it. That
Right.
first round split the bullet.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, I learned it's fun.
It's fun shooting.
And I also learned the edge of a knife is difficult to shoot.
That was tough.
It's
Yeah.
very thin. It's also kind of hard to see because you can see the knife, but I just got LASIK. My eyes are pretty good. I can't see the edge.
Yep. No, I mean, it definitely, it took knowing where it was, really focusing on it and trying to dial in. And, I'm glad I actually hit it. I was actually pretty impressed. I was able to hit that and, not at a super distance, but, I mean, what are we, maybe,
Well,
not even 6 yards, 8 yards?
This is 7 yards, and
7
yards is your standard distance
Yep.
for defensive shooting.
Yep.
And for defensive shooting, you're not shooting at a target that is, what's the thickness of an edge?
I mean, we're in the thousands,
Yeah. Yeah.
Granted, you can see the thickness of the stock behind it a little bit, but at the same time, 4mm,
Yeah.
It's pretty good. So, well, hope you guys enjoyed that. That prototype really got a thumping. I mean, that did all my hard work all the way up until today, and I don't even know if it's done working. I mean, shit, I'm going to throw the scales right back on that thing and put it to good use.
There you go. You can use it to shave your face now. It's kind of like a little straight razor. I hear that just chopping the useful tip off of a knife makes it useful for other things.
Let's see if we can go find the tip.
Yeah. I don't think it'll happen, but we can try.
All right, man. Thanks, as always. Appreciate it. So, yes. Well, you now see exactly what happened. Actually, pretty cool. First and foremost, I'm just psyched to have actually hit that keen edge. I mean, that is a pretty fine target, and, I'm pretty impressed that Jacob and I did a fairly good job. Now, in reality, exactly what happened, and I think we've diagnosed this pretty well. Actually, after reviewing the footage and looking at this blade, we're fairly certain that we actually hit the keen edge with the 50 caliber and did split the bullet. However, what happened was, well, we had this set up. We had a second target off to the side. Jacob was practicing his grouping on the side of this, then decided to turn and shoot at the knife. Unfortunately, at that point, A, I wasn't filming, and B, the bullet came in at sort of an angle off to the side, and that's really what blew out that huge chunk at first. Then from there, obviously, it was significantly weakened, and any other shot at the top was going to take the tip right off. However, in between, I believe that after that chunk was taken, we did hit lower down on the blade and actually did manage to split on that 50 cal. So I do believe that if we hadn't, kind of blown out the side there, this might have survived the entire test. Obviously, the data's not there, and I can't really prove it, and at this point, I mean, it certainly did not survive, but we did learn some things. The OS 8 performed overall very well. 9mm, no problem. 50 cal, well, hard to say. But when you look at the grain structure, it is just so beautiful. I mean, super tight and refined. Looks really nice. I mean, it's like 10,000 grit sandpaper. I mean, it's finer than that. It literally looks like a sheet of paper, how smooth that is. So, I mean, super nice, tight, refined grain structure. The OS 8 performing very well. So, that was a fun test. So, Jacob, thanks, man. Appreciate the time. And for all you guys, I hope you enjoyed that. So, all right, guys, thanks for stopping by. Hope you like what you saw. Hope you found it a little bit informative. If you like what you saw, please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for stopping by. Take care now. I'll see you soon.